Yeah,
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo,
we're back from a little extended vacation,
we back. We're back.
but we're here.
We're back again, and all three of us are ready to set it off in here with some football talk. You got C Money, the Father Niner Nation, Jizzle, the Philadelphia Eagle Nation,
Word, yeah.
and Streety, the Keep Pounding Nation.
Easy, you're low, fix it.
You look easy.
You're low. And somebody turn on the music they're playing in the background. I come here like, how you doing, man? I
Still party mode.
That's on vacation. Can you still look at them?
I still
Yeah,
look.
yeah, KG. Plug it up and plug it back in.
Well, kids getting themselves started out. So we got going on. We got OTAs going on.
Yeah, well, last time we been on was what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, about two and a half weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, we had the rookie mini camps,
Yep.
and now we gone into the first phase of OTAs, which is voluntary season voluntary workouts. And then we had a few signings, so still some news to keep us engaged. It ain't like nothing going on. We still got some stuff that needs to be figured out. But how's it looking over in San Fran's camp?
Rookie mini camp was good. Everybody was impressed with the rookies. I think our draft class was very good. We got no disappointments. We got no nobody who ain't want to show up and quit. None of that. I think our rookies will be good off for our first draft pick, shining. Our running back, those guys are shining. So rookie mini camp went well for us.
You still low, KG? Talk again?
Yeah.
You low. You still low. Yeah, you can't really hear him good. Anyway, yeah, see what you're saying with your
Yes,
mini camp.
our rookie mini camp went well. Like I said, our first round pick, I'm not first round, second round pick, first pick. He started out feeling it, fitting in very well. He can play off the other edge. I think he played before. Come off the edge with Bosa on the other side. So he'll come off good. The running back, he pick up. They say that he can give Mitchell,
You
he
hear me
can give
now?
Elijah Mitchell a run for his money.
A little better, yeah, a little better, but it ain't up like how it usually is.
He can give Elijah Mitchell a run for his money. It went well. They grasped it. It went well. Then we
But
had our voluntary OTA. Of course, I ain't gonna get too serious with voluntary, but Debo ain't show up, which he said. But then Kai Shanahan came out and said that he just waiting on Debo to show up. He got show up. So it is
yeah,
what it is.
I mean, like we've been talking about all the time, your team is a matter of like filling out depth pieces, getting valuable depth. Your team mostly set already. You had 1, 2 areas that you would like to cover, which we were talking about. I think in the defensive secondary.
Yeah,
You guys made some good picks. You got depth at the running back position. Made some nice little additions. So I think mostly news for you guys is basically like you just covered. Uh, Debo ain't show up, but I think that was mostly expected. He wasn't gonna show up to a voluntary walkout anyhow.
right. I think most of the other guys didn't really show up to the voluntary workout. The dedicated guys will, but not most of the guys.
Exactly, and then
They usually show up to the mandatory camp.
you gotta show up to mandatory, else you get fined. But OTS is your choice. I mean, like the main thing for the Fat Niners you look at is as Shane said the Debo situation, and then you had reports of the Fat Niners gonna wait until they get the right offer for Jimmy. Then I rushing to trade him.
Right. And just not a cut job, but today they started working on restructuring the contract
Right.
to make the trade more feasible. So I think that gonna help. Because remember I say he was demanding 20 something. I think it was
His cap was 23 million.
I think man, a lot of money that he was getting. You know, he did a team with Ali.
Right.
So now they're gonna trust the contract and make sure that the trade is
This far down in the year, most people say that quarterback, whether or not it's good or bad, and most people starting quarterback gonna make that. So the trade for Jimmy, like say for instance, the perfect example is the Panthers. The Panthers paying Sam Darnold 18 million in the fifth year
yeah,
to take on Jimmy full contract 23 plus 18. That's father one. You ain't gonna do that, which means you have to restructure the contract or the partner has got to pay. It's the same thing when it comes to Baker. Nobody want to take Baker full 18 because that don't make no sense when everybody already got quarterback on the team.
the Browns crazy for that. Browns are very
So right, so making it so Jimmy they ain't gonna lowball Jimmy. They respect Jimmy. They ain't gonna lowball him. So I think news for San Fran is usually that Jimmy thing, the Debo thing, and then also the main thing also is like the development of Trey Lance.
yeah.
Because if Jimmy is in fact traded, it's all it's all it's all on Trey Lance.
I'll tell you because our other two quarterbacks we on the roster,
Exactly. They done, it ain't nothing. Like to me, a perfect trade would have been, in my eyes, a perfect trade would have been I would have traded Jimmy for Sam Donald and a pick because Sam Donald would have been your backup.
yeah,
Jimmy would have been our starter. The contracts change and you guys lower your cap. When we take the 23 million, all are you taking is the 18 million. So so you understand what I mean? Whereas Sam is the backup, Trey Lance is there, but you got viable backup. It's not like Sam can't play. If he's in the right system, then he'll do what he got to do. And then Jimmy gets to start in Carolina, and then the contract offset itself. But like you say, you just trade Jimmy, and then one bad injury to Trey Lance. Who the hell is the backups?
Sudfeld.
You putting our faith in Sudfeld?
Yeah,
Sudfeld can't do. Sudfeld can't do.
I tell you, he can't. He gonna
You
be
know,
just like
Sudfeld from being in Philadelphia, he can't do.
he gonna be yeah, he gonna be just like the year when Jimmy went down and we had
Exactly, and Mullins in there. Yeah, but you
that.
see that one of the things I like. While we were off was I saw Indianapolis sign Nick Foles.
Halsey.
Yep.
So you got Matt Ryan, that's a more than capable, proven starter. But if something happens to Matt Ryan, Nick Foles is right back there with Frank Wright. And if you're a team that wants to win, you got to have a viable backup in case you get an injury because then you can't sabotage the whole year because you ain't got proper backup. Teams like the 49ers, they playing to win the Super Bowl. That's what she and I would say. You got to have proper depth. If your team ain't got depth and you playing to win the Super Bowl, you in trouble.
That's true.
But then you go back to the Eagles Super Bowl year, right? If they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have
Right?
Glenn thing I went nowhere, I went down there more flat.
Exactly.
Right.
Right?
They didn't miss a beat when
Beat
Wentz went
four
down.
step. Yeah. 4 step and then miss a beat.
Right. So, well, like we all know the 49ers is one of the top teams in the NFL. They didn't have to do much in the off season. They drafted based on what they needed and insurance and depth. And then, I mean, they could easily clear up cap by just trading Jimmy or eating a few, or eating a certain percentage of his salary and then trading him. Then it's still lower your cap. So they got roads that they could go. It's just that they don't want to lowball Jimmy
Right now, as it stands with the roster how it is, we have the lowest cap space in the NFL right now.
in the NFL,
You
and
know,
that can easily change with a Jimmy trade.
right, we carrying 23 million on Jimmy.
Exactly.
That's good.
And why? And then, like I saw a report that say the 49ers aren't in a rush. They don't even have to trade him.
No, they don't. We don't
Exactly.
because you could see last year, right? We could write him up. Ah, yeah, don't trade him, then release him at the end of the year.
And then at the end of the year, the cap gone. And that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's the
about.
money, right? So it's like we probably got the best of both worlds right now. Yeah, we don't have the cap space, but we don't need nobody.
Yeah, but
You got viable backup in Jimmy. with a young starter in Tree Line. So you got the best of both worlds. You don't have to cut, you don't have to trade. You could leave him right off the whole year, sit on the bench, or come in to help or whatever. And then at the end of the year, boom, we got 23 million back.
Yeah. And then whoever signed him, more than likely you get compensatory pick.
Right.
True.
See, for you guys, the main thing for you guys is looking what you guys looking at right now is basically just how we gonna sign Nick Bosa. Can we get a deal done with Debo? Those kinds of stuff. Trey Lance on a rookie deal, he's still got about 3 or 4
Three or 4 years.
years.
Plus,
There's them second, the third, the fourth, and then the fifth year options. He got 4 more years before them.
4 years left.
4 years before they even got to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got kept because I mean he was a number 3 overall pick. So the number still
Kind of high,
the others right, but he didn't say as high how the only high number does really be the fifth year option.
right, exactly.
A first round pick salary is 4 years, 37 million. The top 5 pick, top 3, so 4 years, 37 million. That's 9 million a year. That's nothing for a quarterback. And if Trey Lance ball out, when he gave fifth year option, we gonna want 35 million, 36 million.
No, he get 40.
Exactly. At that time, the it gonna rise.
Right.
So he's still good right there. We know for the next 4 years they could build a team around him and not have to worry about Trey Lance and everything. So the 49ers are still good. And the only I don't want to say issue. The only thing about them is they in the that harsh division, which is the Rams. I won't really say harsh because the Seahawks don't host
No, I was on the
I
Cardinals.
don't
We know what to expect from the Cardinals.
from the Cardinals.
I don't think I think the
I mean, I always give the Rams a respect. I did Super Bowl champs.
right, you're getting respect. Rams are getting respect.
Mm.
Cardinals,
But the other 2 teams, yeah, the Seahawks did.
yeah, and I think the Cardinals fucked themselves in this draft. They ain't do nothing to help Kyler. And they keep
I don't know. I don't know if they think Hollywood Brown is a answer. I mean, the thing still gonna miss 6 games. What he name
yeah,
Hopkins.
yeah, okay, right.
Suppose you 2-4 after them 6 games.
How about your 0-6?
Lad, I think that might be the Panthers.
Possible.
That might be the Panthers.
Have they had the first 6 years?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to look at it. But yeah, it ain't as strong as how it is. I mean, we as Shane and KG them know, division games will always go anyway.
Right.
That's the thing. A divisional game, don't matter if you own 16 or so, it could always go different. But when you look at it on paper, the clear cuts are San Fran, the Rams. You look at how the NFL, the teams are, you got San Fran, the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Eagles, the Cowboys, probably the Saints. That's 7 teams there. Those are the ones that you really look at in. I don't really want to say Washington, we see what Brent had, but you know what you're getting. Okay, San Fran has stability with Shanahan and Lynch. They have a damn good team. The team is really good, and like Shane can attest to. No matter who you put in the backfield, they'll be stars. Cause Mustard was good, and then when Mustard, but now everybody thought, oh, the run game and go down. Then Elijah Mitchell is here now. Mitchell get injured. They draft that dude. They still got Trey Sermon. They still got Hasty. Everybody could do stuff.
I can say right now, the thing coming out of the rookie camp was that Price might take Elijah Mitchell's spot. But you're gonna go back to remember when we had went that first the Super Bowl run. We had Mostert and Tevin Coleman. Mostert had 1,000 yards rushing that year. Tevin Coleman had 800 yards rushing. So I think he trying to get back to that fire thunder. You know what I'm saying? That, yeah, right. Because Price is a big back, a 200-pounder back, but he got that speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing 200 pounds, but he shoots a one-cut back. You know what I'm saying? I always say to myself, I would love to get a boy from the Colts and the Lions. That one cut
Who?
down, running back from the Colts.
Marlon Mack?
Oh man.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, he fucking Marlon Mack.
But he said old boy as if Jonathan Taylor old. But Jonathan Taylor not long ago coming in the NFL.
I didn't mean old as in old. I mean, figuratively old boy, the old boy.
No. You can't go there and say old. You gotta say fresh boy Jonathan Taylor.
You come ahead with your fraud
When
thing,
he said, "Oh, my man, make me not a cold donkey," you know.
nobody gave the call, man. And that give me how much
No,
money
no.
over
When he did, if he didn't take before he had take Achilles, he was bossing them. It's just that Achilles threw him down.
Actually, show him them.
That, but he was bossing. He was bossing from Zane.
It's a good bet.
But yeah, but nobody is thing.
there.
Jonathan Taylor. That's a bad.
Taylor is
That's a badger. He from Wisconsin. That's a badger.
they had different animal.
One,
That's a badger.
one cut of the cut. That's why you need her.
So,
Right. But
But
yeah,
they,
we looking good in Cali. I think OOT is just wrap up because it just got a little.
is he more than one? Is he more than one day? Today the first day. Today was the first day for Reed.
Yeah, but I mean, we just done though. Like, it just gone after 5 in Cali.
Oh, okay, okay.
We just done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was starting next week.
KG, are you he started?
Nah.
So with that being said,
I mean, we're gonna do OTAs here in Florida, and you see behind me. It's almost 8:30. Look behind me. Blaze,
sun still out. Sun still out.
So
But we know how the partners is. We said the 2 weeks that we were gone, we still were what engaged in football. The only thing you usually see from the 49ers is basically, the Debo rumors, but
right. That's
if you look at the 49ers, they ain't worried, they ain't answer they if they wanted to, they just offer them the number 9 pick in the draft. Not the 9, the number 10 pick in the draft. They're gonna trade him right there and get somebody else.
Right. So I figure out, not figure out, but somebody else today before he found him with you is that he wanted to get paid as a wide receiver, and then man told him that can't pay you wide receiver money because you put no wide receiver numbers. So you're putting up wide receiver, you're putting up total yardage. And he tell him when he want to be a wide receiver, and coach staff tell him, not a fuck. We need you to be how you is in DMX. That's the problem. Right?
that's not a problem. Yeah,
That's the problem.
Yeah, because Debo can basically say, okay, you don't want to pay me like this and that. I can't be doing both of them.
both of them here.
I can't be going to get handoffs and then he give me little
Right.
what receiver screens and do all them kind of stuff.
In his 2-year career, 2-year career,
Mm.
he has not put up wide receiver numbers.
But you honestly believe you give him a chance to put up that?
Okay, and that's why my point. Show me you could do that, and then let's talk.
Because Debo might say, okay, stop having me doing halfback doors and things.
Back there and stuff like
Right.
that. Get them back.
If you give me normal reactions and thing, let me run my routes and catch my ball. But don't have me doing in the runs all day and then catching the ball out of the backfield and them kind of stuff.
Right, but then don't be out here demanding fucking. I blame the fucking Jaguars, you know.
But that you see that Shanahan scheme. Shanahan, the thing is, if we all know how valuable he is when he get a ball in the hand.
Right.
Shanahan's scheme is to get the playmakers the ball in them hand.
Ball in
The
hand.
way to get a ball in Debo's hand is to move him around the field, get those little quick handoffs and all them kind of stuff. Now, see the thing is, they could say just like McCaffrey. McCaffrey does catch and run, but McCaffrey is slated as a running back.
Or in the back here.
16 million he get a year. That's high by running back standards, but they gave him that because he does so much more.
1,000 yards, even 1,000 yards rushing.
Exactly. Now, in Debo's standard, Debo's a running back first, then Debo's a wide receiver first, then a running back. You see what's the going rate for wide receiver? 22 million.
Right.
So that's the difference.
I blame the fucking Jaguars.
That's how it's gonna be.
Well, you still gotta understand too. Debo thinks of himself as a Devante and those guys. Those guys get 25 million.
Right.
So he want that.
Nah, I think I gotta give Debo a nice 16, 17 college drive. You know?
No, he would never take that shit. He would never take that.
Somebody will give him 20 plus.
I know.
Shit, he gonna have to get in that 20s. He gonna have to get in that 20s.
22,
But see, I also agree with shit. You want to come here for one season and want 20 million. You know how they say timing matters?
Yeah.
He did on the year that he wanted a new contract. So it's the same thing when we had Hassan Reddick had come on get that 12 and a half sack thing. He didn't do nothing for the first 4 years. Get that 12 years thing, and then nobody signed him. We get him for 1 year, 6 million. The man said, go and prove it again. He proved it, and you see what the Eagles signed him for 15, 16 million a year. People got me playing Debo bluffs. Go do it again and let me see.
It again,
So
yeah.
like me, like don't get me wrong. He's our MVP, right? Other than
Other than Kittle,
close to Kittle, right? And he's an all rounder.
right?
But that you don't come out here no fucking 1 year and then time when you want millions and you just do it for 1 year. Do it next year and you're injury prone.
Yeah, but would he be
I know you're gonna
not
say yeah,
injury
but
prone if
yeah.
he wasn't running the ball as often as he does?
Okay,
Because remember, you get
that.
hit from them heavy defensive tackles and thing, you know.
You realize that in the Dallas game, he went on the sideline until Kyle Shanahan gave him the ball.
Yeah, because he know he's the best weapon on the field. He want to win, but at the same time, you know what I mean?
That come with consequences.
True too, but
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, to me, dog, it's like you don't come out here 1 year and then try and demand the wall, and then when you don't get your way, you act like a spoiled child. That's a diva to me, dog. That's Terrell Owens all over in my head. It just born in my heart, dog.
sometimes you gotta stroke them ego. Sometimes you gotta do it. Stroke them ego. Stroke the ego now and again. Ain't nothing wrong with it. As Kai has, what Kai Shanahan should do is go ahead and stroke your ego and John and what his name is John Lynch. Stroke them ego. Say, I know you're the best wide receiver in the league. I know you're such and such. Get the money. Just sit back and just you know what I mean, stick with the team and we're gonna take care of you. Stroke your ego a little bit. Nothing wrong with that.
See, I think Debo understand that the way they use him, the risk that he getting injured is very high.
And I think that plays.
I need to get as much now right before it does happen. If not, if you ain't
Because he got a running back mentality.
right, if you ain't gonna pay me what I think, please just have me as a wide receiver and stop having me do all them things. That's all it is in my from my point of view. He just can't. He know he about to bound to break down with the way that they use him. And like you say, when he get a ball, he don't go down. He button. It's only a matter of time before your body break down.
Exactly.
So he trying to capitalize as much right now. I need my money. Let's get it done. But you ain't gonna lowball me because the stuff that I do is invaluable here to this team. Ain't nobody else does this for their team.
He's the last big player that we need to sign in. That we sign up. We got Kittle sign up. We got Warner sign up. Bosa sign up. We need now to sign up. We not worry about quarterback for 4 years.
So you gotta see.
Right? You know, Trent Williams sign up. He got bit his fat.
So I mean, that's how it is with the fight now. Outside of the Debo saga, OTAs, you've seen who they are and who ain't there. But Debo's the saga, and then the little
Right.
Garoppolo
Yeah,
thing, and that ain't really big saga because I mean, like they say, they ain't trying to lowball him. If they gotta keep him, they'll keep him. They're gonna give him the best chance to go there and be a starter. If a trade comes that he says, okay, I can start, I'll do it. But they ain't gonna. They respect him, so they ain't gonna do. They ain't gonna do him bad like how other teams would do.
right.
So he should be good. All right, what's going on in Philly?
Well, you know, we got a lot going on in Philly. We just signed James Bradbury to a 1 year. I think it was.
This Philly going all out for this title.
We tried. You gotta make it happen. You can't be sitting down there doing nothing. You gotta try to build a team.
Well, that roster that I got there.
So I mean, right now we have Bradbury as your number two, Slay as your number one, Harris. You got Mike Epps. They said he's a decent safety. He should be starting if we don't send another safety. You got Nakobe Dean and Kazia White as linebackers. They said in the rookie mini camp, they said Nakobe Dean looks good. He's learning the playbook. He's always where he needs to be. He's never out of position. So that's good. He's gonna be the leader of the defense. Um, you got Josh Sweat, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham will be back. You got Hassan Reddick. So I mean, this defense is going to be located great. Jonathan Gannon has no excuses, none. I expected a better. I expected. I mean, we had a top 10 defense, but it didn't look like a top 10 defense last year because quarterbacks were throwing. I think the worst quarterbacks that we played against, like I think it wasn't Heineken, it was another guy, and Daniel Jones and those guys. But they were throwing for like what, getting 80 completion percentage and stuff like that. You shouldn't have your those quarterbacks having that completion percentage. That's not good. So we're gonna see Gannon. You can't have no excuses now. You have the linebackers that you need to cover. You have Kazier went to go silent to side, and he has a speed to do it. He's a coverage linebacker. You have Nakobe Dean. He's a coverage linebacker, sideline to sideline. You got Slay. You got James Bradbury, and you got the defensive line to do it. On offense, big signing with AJ Brown. Then you have, of course, Devontae Smith. Quez he won't be a number two, so there won't be a lot of pressure on him. He'll be a number three. You have Zach Pascal, he'll be a number four. You still got this slappy Jalen Rager, he'll still be there. But he'll be a number five if they don't trade him. Of course, Dallas got to be a number one tight end. Either Jack Stoll or Tyree Jackson is going to be your number two tight ends. So then after you also have Mailata as the offensive line. You have Leonard Dickerson as your left guard. You have Jason Kelsey coming back. Um, Driscoll probably is going to be your right guard. And you have Lee Johnson come back as well. So you probably got the best offensive line in football. Then after you have Miles Sanders.
Second best.
Well, if you want to say, but then after if Miles Sanders could give you at least 13 to 14 games, I think he has seen this the health. If he could give you at least 13 to 14 games,
Who's your depth running backs?
Boston Scott and what his name is? Kenneth Gainwell. Those two guys. I mean, Boston Scott, he's pretty much your second string back. And probably Kenneth Gainwell is probably the same thing. So, like I said, but Miles Sanders is going to be a workhorse back, and this is I think this is his last year, so he's going to be in a contract year too. So, I mean, we're going to see, but it's going to be on Jalen. It's going to be on these three people to get this team going. It's going to be on Jalen Hurts, it's going to be on Nick Sirianni, and it's going to be on Jonathan Gannon. Those three people are going to have to get this team going. Jalen Hurts, Sirianni, and Jonathan Gannon. Jalen Hurts, you got to show us that you can actually be the quarterback, the franchise quarterback of this team, and throw the ball. Sirianni, you did good last year with adjusting to your team, adjusting to your quarterback. At the same time, we're running the ball a whole lot and whatever, and to your offensive line and stuff like that. So, but now you're gonna have to get better at play calling. Ain't no more training wheels on Jalen Hurts no more. Take out the training wheels. It's time to go. It's time to go. Ain't no more training wheels no more.
Well, they put everything in place for him to succeed. So he better hope that he put up lights out now, because with that draft class that coming out next year, he'll be able to go full speed. He would be able to go full speed.
The rookie mini camp, they also said that Carson Strong is looking good. He has a very strong arm. So I don't know, but that's just mini camp. We'll see what preseason.
I mean, that's my thing about it with mini camp. You know, everybody that look good with shots on and just a helmet.
Right. They say he knows where to go with the ball and stuff like that. But that's okay. Let's see what he looks like in preseason. Because I'm sure he's going to get some first team reps.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but we're looking good. We're looking very good. Very good. From, I think, was it 2020? We finished the season 4-12. Came back last year, made the playoffs at what? 9-7. Then after, to have us at double-digit wins this year going into the season. You know what I mean? So we got a chance to either win a division, and like I was saying before, I think I said the Madden chat. If Jalen Hurts gives you close to 4,000 yards, 35 total touchdowns, the Eagles win that division. And that's probably
let's look at the division for a second. You got the Giants. The Giants will go as far as Daniel Jones take them, which ain't very far. You look at the Redskins. The Redskins to me is a wild card team. If Wentz could play to his potential, the team is actually very good.
Right.
than how it is. It underperformed. Heineke took them to I think the height or what he could have took them to, which was 8 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what Heineke could get, 8 wins, nothing more. With wins, they had that such a great season before the knee injury and everything. He has a high. If Wentz could put it McLaurin and those guys, you got Antonio Gibson and those, but that ferocious defense, something could happen. That's a wild card team to me, and I actually feel like Dallas regress.
Yeah,
I don't think Dallas is the same team. Like,
losing Amari Cooper,
mm-hmm,
a few other players. I mean, what his name is Trayvon Diggs.
mm-hmm,
I mean, yeah, he had a good season last year with a lot of picks, but he was getting beat all year with double moves and stuff like that.
exactly.
So, I mean, without them interceptions, I don't think he would have been a Pro Bowl cornerback if he didn't get those interceptions. So,
So that's my thing about. I just don't think that they as good as they were last time. So Philly is in a prime position
position right now.
to not only make playoffs but can go deep in the position with they got a good mix of veterans and youths.
Mm-hmm.
But like KG said, it comes back to that quarterback position.
He's
Can Jalen Hurts take that next step into evolving into a top tier quarterback? Because you got Devontae Smith, you got Goddard, you got AJ Brown, you got a line, and those are the block.
mm-hmm.
What are you gonna say? No, what are your excuses?
None. The training wheels are off. The bolts are off. The training wheels are gone in the garbage. It's time to let that arm go. So, what's the share of paper of Italy? You bet.
I can see it because if you have all of that, your front office just basically gives you the keys to Bentley.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you drive it?
If you can't get that Bentley out of the driveway,
Mhm.
something wrong. Something is wrong.
With this squad, no.
Hurts need to show but the potential that he had
Right,
in college and come out in ball that because
right.
he ain't got no excuses.
None.
No excuses. No excuses.
None.
I'm a football fan. I'm a football fan, but I'm a football fan.
Right.
So I can watch Eagles because I could see that y'all have that potential to come out and do
Mhm.
something. But Hurts got to drive that car. If you don't drive that car, that's why I want to. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta drive that car. You have no
Mhm.
excuse. I wouldn't be mad at you at all if by mid-season if you fucking up and you badly.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, the expectations for this team is actually 11 to 12 wins. You know what I mean? That means you're probably gonna win a division and you're probably gonna get a home playoff game, which means that you should be winning a playoff game this year. That's the next step. That's the next step to take. I don't think. I mean, you don't know what can happen in the playoffs, but the next
Correct.
step is for us to make the playoffs, win a playoff game, get some experience under our belt with our rookies and our young players. Then after that, we move forward from there next season. Because next season is the season where we should be
I
winning.
actually think expectation this year is not to just make playoffs. You gotta win up. You win playoffs last year with that team, with a
Right.
team like that, and that team you build off of that team this year
Right.
with those additions. You got don't forget you ain't called Hassan Reddick.
Right. Yeah, I can't already with our
He
defense.
have the edge now with Graham and those guys and
Right.
Smith and those guys.
Right.
You ain't just going playoffs to say make playoffs. I don't want to hear nothing about no
No, I said
experience.
no. No, I said our expectation is to win a playoff game.
You try to take
Yeah.
that division and go far into the
To win the
playoffs.
playoffs. But the only thing is, and like a lot of people on the radio has been saying, we giving Jalen Hurts too much leeway. You understand? Because
Like he ain't got no more after this year.
right now, a lot of the analysts and fans on the radio have been saying that we give Jalen Hurts too much leeway because another quarterback right now, we would have been saying NFC Championship game. But we know the limitation of Jalen Hurts. That no, we are saying win a playoff game, and then after, if you do win, you make the next run, and you can see where you go from there. But like I'm saying, expectations are to the roof right now.
Yeah,
It's also on next year, and it too, because you're gonna have to get this offense going.
and especially when everybody in the world know that Dallas will grace.
Right, exactly. So you're gonna have to get this offense going. You're gonna have to get better at calling plays. You know what I mean? Have a good sense of feel for the game. He's a good coach so far because being able to adjust last year and knowing that your quarterback can't do it, and you were able to change the game plan, adjust to the run game, know the strength of your team, which was your offensive line, and build through that. But now,
Correct.
the strength of your team now is actually your offense, which is now your wide receivers. I mean, your running game still can be good because you still have the running backs, you still have that O line. But what's haunting me is that playoff game when we played the Buccaneers and the defensive coordinator saying he can't read. You understand? He can't read the defense. You understand?
Yep.
Don't worry about it. He can't read. He can't see. And then after watching the R22, Devontae Smith, Chris Watkins, and those guys was open a lot down the field. They were playing single coverage, and he just couldn't deliver that ball.
I
So
think I
we
think
see.
I think he had the jitters.
Yeah, that's understandable. But
He afraid to lose the
it can't
ball.
happen this year. It can't happen this year. It can't. And you know, Philly is not Philly, but fans are famous for the backup quarterback. So, say Carson Strong goes in and looks good preseason. You know what I mean? Balls out preseason. You know what I mean? And somewhere down the line in the season, we probably 2-4. Jalen Hurts is taking up the joint. They're gonna be calling for Carson Strong to come in.
That
So,
that'd be a plan. It's just
right,
like
exactly.
right. It's like we start off our season. We were 2-5,
Right,
and they were everybody. When are we gonna see Trey Lance?
right, exactly. So,
You know what I'm saying? It's like really,
right, because he was looking good in the preseason. So, you know what I mean? So, like I said before, if Carson Strong is looking good in the preseason, 2-4, losing to a team 21-7, and Jalen Hurts taking up the joint. You know what I mean? And we happen to lose that game. The talk on the radio is gonna be we should bench Jalen Hurts and start Carson Strong. So he has to come to the gate firing. You cannot be sitting there doing. You can't be sitting there trying and thinking of the joint. You have to come out the gate week one against the Detroit Lions firing and all
your
cylinders.
week one game is against Detroit.
It's against Detroit, exactly. So you
But
have
that's an L for you.
you have to come out. You have to come out firing.
Yeah. Then the thing is, for that entire season, the scrutiny gonna be on Jalen Hurts, no matter what. No matter gonna scrutinize nothing else on that team
Yep.
but Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So he gonna have to take it.
Injuries, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Still,
yeah,
it gonna always be on Jalen Hurts. Because remember, nobody's saying, oh, nobody really saying that, oh no, the Eagles have done a great job building and what's not. Yeah, we know that. The talk is the Eagles have surrounded Jalen Hurts where he should not fail.
exactly.
That's why you're here. You don't hear the Eagles have built a very strong team. All you're hearing is the Eagles have surrounded Jalen Hurts with the weapons that he cannot feel. So again, they can always come back to Jalen Hurts. Because we had this conversation already, KG, with you and Shane. A man could throw for 300 yards, but if he lose, they're going to still blame him.
I'm blaming me.
So it all comes back on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, if you feel that you got time, you got no time. Once week one come, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Clock starts.
Exactly.
And you gotta give credit to Harry Roseman, man. I have been bashing Harry Roseman probably for the past 3 to 4 years, ever since the Super Bowl. But you gotta give credit. You gotta give credit where credit is due. Harry Roseman has done his thing as a GM. I mean, he's finally, for some reason, I guess he listens to analytics no more. He's finally listening to the scouts, the actual football people in the office, because now he's drafted well. He's signed the right people. You know what I mean? He's built the team the right way. So gotta give credit to Harry Roseman again.
He did
Gotta
a
give him.
cracking job this draft.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Gotta give him.
Because nobody saw that AJ Brown trade coming.
Exactly. We didn't see that coming.
And then to pick up Dean in the third round, which is probably the steal of the draft.
Exactly.
Steal of the draft.
Gotta give him credit because we haven't had that type of impact linebacker for the Eagles since Jeremiah Trotterham. And this is probably like 2004, 2005. We haven't had that linebacker. Even though we had Jordan Hicks, he was okay, but he wasn't an impact type of game changer type of linebacker. Kobe Dean can be that. He has the talent to be that. So it's about time we decide to get that. So because we've always had good defensive linemen, good offensive linemen. I mean, we had good pass rushers as well, but other than Trotter, other than Seth Joyner, and I think that was about it. Is when we had decent, solid Pro Bowl linebackers, and that was it. So it's about time we finally get a solid, game-changing, playmaking type of linebacker. Because Jonathan Gannon also said that Nakobe Dean can also be a pass rusher too. So we'll see. We'll see what he has planned. And again, there's no excuses for the defensive coordinator too, eh? No excuses, no, eh?
Yeah, of course. No excuses.
Excuses for this defensive coordinator, eh? I don't want to see this soft two shell and you just leave the quarterback just think you down the field for 90% completion rate and all kind of nonsense. You know what I mean? Perfect passer rate. Nah. I don't want to see that. I want to see pressure the quarterback. You got Jordan Davis, you got Fletcher Cox, you got Hargraves, you got Graham, you got Reddick, you got Josh Sweat. Pressure the quarterback. You got Slay and Bradbury outside the cover. You got Dean and Kazeway in the middle of the field. Let's go. You should have a good top 10 defense this year coming. Top 10 defense, top 10 offense. So,
we do. We got a couple months to see what happens.
we have a couple of months. I can't wait for minicamp.
Yeah.
I gotta be in tuned for minicamp OTAs. I think they said our OTA starting May 31st, June 2nd to the 3rd, and June 6th to the 8th. And after that, I think they take a break after that, and after that's when mandatory OTAs start, and mandatory camp starts, and that's it. That's what I gonna look forward to. I mean, I know the receiver's gonna perform. AJ Brown gonna do his thing. Van de Smith will just be better next year. Much better next year. Can't wait to see.
That's a league thing.
You know what I mean? Because
So you got two good wide receivers.
right, and you ain't double covering the Van de Smith. You know what I mean?
You got a good running back. There's
Right.
no
Exactly.
no excuses.
So you ain't doubling nobody on that team. So what they're gonna do? Stuff the box and make hot. No.
Take it over the top. You have
Yeah.
the bonus. AJ Brown got that elusive speed.
Yeah.
Marcus Smith got
Van de
that
Smith,
speed.
where's
You got that speed. Quez got that
Right.
speed. You could bring
Exactly.
Miles Sanders and stuff the box. You could leak Miles Sanders on the backfield up the gut.
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's so much things. So it gonna be a lot of pressure to be on your offensive coordinator too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sirianni and I forget who our offensive coordinator, but Sirianni and a dude from Florida State that we had not Florida State, but Florida. He was quarterback all the way back when. So we'll see.
So let's go to the sub. The sub.
I think it was Steve. Steve.
Sub going to the top. But
So, well,
you got that, eh?
boy. When ESPN bring out a poll, the power ranking dead last is Carolina. Out the door, full speed. Then another person bring out them quarterback situation power ranking dead last Carolina. Out the door. All kind of things out the door. But in all honesty, that watching the rookie minicamp, he can use the real deal. The left tackle, he's really good. His mastery is in run blocking. You can see the power and finesse he got. He'll work on his pass blocking. It's not like he's a scrub, but he's gonna get better with it. But he's probably that's a pro left tackle for the next 15 years. Carolina finally has, and based on what I saw from Corral in the minicamp, he looks good. Then they're actually saying that. Remember, he was in Lane Kiffin's PO scheme, so it was one read. But they gave him some stuff to see how he handles, and he handled it well. Look at like going through his progressions, and he looked good. I was really happy with Amari Bano. They said if he can fill into his body, he should be really good. I like Cody Mayers, the guard that we drafted. It looked the team, the rookie minicamp was as I expected. We drafted a lot of athletes. Kalen Barnes ran a 4.29. His speed showed up on the field. Brandon Smith, the linebacker, he was all over the field, and he's just an athlete. So the rookie minicamp was good. And when we look at the first day of the OTAs, they said Sam Darnold was sharp and stiller. Oh Jesus! Why is Sam Darnold sharp and stiller? I don't know what to say. I don't. But you know the thing about it. Deep down in my heart, I feel that he's actually going to play better this year because he actually has a very proper line now. Finally, last year the issue was he was bouncing around because the line never gave him no time. With Taylor Moton, Bradley Bozeman, Austin Corbett, Ikinwu, and now Brady Christensen and left guard, he has a fair chance to stand in the pocket and make his reads. But you see, the elephant in the room is also today they said the Panthers are still open to bring him back Cam, but he won't be the starter. He has to take a reduced role and a reduced salary. Cam won't do. The elephant in the room for Carolina is they still want Baker, but not at the cost of what he has. They would. They said if they release Baker, Carolina would have signed him one time. Carolina is saying if we trade for him, I'm not taking 18 million. Basically, the Browns will have to take about 12 million. But you see what the Browns are doing is the Browns are saying if you take most of the salary, I will trade him for a low pick. But if the more salary we gotta take, the higher the compensation gotta be. That's stupid from the Browns because you're the ones that got the issue. We got nobody trade for Baker, you still gotta eat the 18 million. And then you went there and signed Jacoby Brissett and Joshua Dobbs just in case Deshaun Watson does get suspended, which he will. So they don't really want Baker. Is Baker much of an upgrade over Sam Darnold? I don't know. I don't know because he played with very good teams. I mean, this is Sam Darnold's chance to actually have a proper line. You heard me go. You heard me all the times last year that I couldn't even watch the line. He never had time. And I think with Ben McAdoo's, I really love the addition of Dante Foreman, King Henry II. He's there for the downhill running. King Henry II. He's the downhill shot. You ain't stopping. He button on everybody. You could the downhill button, and then McCaffrey again. He looks healthy. They said they're gonna change the way they operate with him. He won't play in the preseason, and then they used to have him practice a lot during the weeks for the games. They're gonna change it to preserve his body, so he don't need to be on the field that much. But I do think we got Rashad Higgins, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall. I think our weak spot is probably the tight ends. But Ian Thomas isn't bad. It's just I don't rate him high. I still like Tommy Tremble. The team actually don't look as bad as it may seem. And then the defensive standpoint, getting back J.C. Hahn was really important. You got J.C. Hahn and Dante Jackson. You got Jeremy Chin. And then we signed Xavier Woods, the safety. That is pretty good. We got Shaq Thompson, Brandon Smith. You got Corey Littleton. That is good in my eyes. The defensive line, Derek Brown. I love Derek Brown. Matt Ioannidis was a good pickup from the Redskins. They all got Brian Bones. Now you got Amari Bano and you got Yetur Gross-Matos. The team isn't as bad as you feel. And people really like Corral in the building. From what they're saying is he's taking on the stuff good. My only issue is like the debate that we had the last time. If Carolina finds itself in the top 5 next year, what are you going to do? Because most people's speculation of Corral is he's a developmental quarterback. So my question is, are you willing to gamble on a developmental quarterback, or if you're in the top 5 of the draft, pick one of those show for your thing? You would pick Corral over CJ Stroud?
Hell no.
That's my thing with the pick. I think we kind of wasted it. I don't have nothing against Corral, but I think we wasted the pick because that schedule, we ain't coming. I just being fair. We ain't coming out at the top. We're gonna be in the top 7 or 8 next year. We had 3 straight years of five wins. It's not that the team is bad. The schedule is brutal. We lose every game in the AFC North. Lose every game. We lose most of the games in the NFC West. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I don't think Donald still says that he thinks he can be a great quarterback in this league. I don't know who he. I don't know if he's trying to prove it to himself. Cause he ain't proving it to nobody.
Self motivation.
But he's gonna have to. And so you think the people them gonna come out after the first day of OTAs and say Donald is still looking like the old Donald? They ain't gonna say that. Everybody in the OTAs will say they come out and say he looks like a completely different Donald. He's sharp on his throat. You can see a different demeanor in him.
It's
The guy that
OTAs.
the
It's OTAs
guy
now.
that had a helmet and shorts. Of course he gonna look good. Wait till a 360 pound defensive tackle come in his face and see what he do. But I really want to say, I would hope that Corral battles for the starting job, and he has 6, 7 games to play this year. Because if he don't, he gonna be in trouble. He'll be on the Panthers next year, but he won't be the starter. That's my thing about it. The good thing about the Panthers situation is something similar to Shane. Donald got 1 more year. This is his final year. It's 18 million that come off the books. We got shitloads of cap space next year. The team can really build next year, and if you are in that position, draft a quarterback and you're gone full speed. But from what I saw from OTAs and everything, most of the guys were there. Robert Anderson wasn't there, but I don't know what'll go wrong in his brain. He's a weird one on his own, so the guy put up his hand for a first down 32-6. I don't understand that. So he was probably, I think, the only one. Yito Ghost Matos didn't practice because of he's still recovering from an injury. Shoy Smith didn't practice, but the others, everybody was there. It's everybody is jolly. You still got that little vibe that I like to hear about. But again, it's voluntary off season workouts. We still got June, and I think June you got those workouts, and then July is the mini camp. Yeah, so you still got time to go. I think for the Panthers, the time will always be the quarterback situation. That's all. We can monitor Baker. That's all it is. Monitor Baker, monitor Baker, monitor Baker. Then you're looking at how Corral play. Can Corral outperform Donald? And then some others will tell you. They said Ben McAdoo wanted to come to Carolina because he wanted a chance to coach Sam Donald. Do I really believe that? I don't think so. That was his only chance to be offensive coordinator. See, of course he's gonna take it.
Of course, he'll take it.
Of course he's gonna take it. He wanted to get his hands on Sam Donald. Really? How much people want to get their hands on this Sam Donald also? But they said the philosophy is changing. It's more of a downhill. That's why I like Dante Foreman. We got Chuba Hubbard, McCaffrey, a lot of play action, simple little reads for him to think. And his biggest issue, Sam Donald, has been his feet. They say he put an emphasis on walking on his feet this year. His feet they actually staying more steady. He's poised in the pocket. But remember, we always say too. But remember, we always say we used to laugh about the Panthers line last year. By the time we say hot, we had watched 1 or 2 of the game scene. By the time we say hot, them were already in your face. If they're in your face every 2 seconds, of course you're gonna be frightened.
You get jitters.
Right. But now you got Taylor Moton, which is an all-pro right tackle. Austin Carver just come out for the Rams. He was graded very high. Bradley Bozeman was a key veteran center for Baltimore. King was a top-notch all-pro player if he lives up to his potential. And Brady Christensen is actually a very underrated thing. You got more time in the pocket. You can play. So I'm like you guys. I'm actually excited about what the season can hold. I would like them to win and compete for a playoff spot. But then if you don't win, give Corral his shot to see what he has. Because the next off season when we're on the show, I'm gonna be talking about the same thing. Who the Panthers quarterback gonna be? Because when we get top 7 pick, I'm looking at all those quarterbacks because that's where we're going. Straight for a quarterback. So, and Matt Rule might be there next year. Yeah, because they say, oh, we rolling with Matt Rule. Leave another 5-win season, come see how far Matt Rule roll. He rolls straight out of Charlotte. So, but yeah.
Because that would be the right time if you have that top 7 pick.
If you get top 5 to 6 pick next year, of course you need to get your brand new head coach and even bring in who he wants.
Even bring in who he wants.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. They said Matt Corral is a developmental quarterback. They're going to take a few years. They should have had Matt Corral and Matt Rule first year. So that when you think, not on your third year, when you're hoping not to get fired, you grooming Matt Corral for somebody else. So Matt Rule got to hope that everything play out in his position. But I like the team. That's my thing. I like we have a lot of athletes. We're young. We're athletic, and I do like the team. I do feel like we can sneak up on people. And the division outside of the Buccaneers, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be that good as they were last year. I don't think so. The Saints doing a lot just to stay relevant. Are we going to put all our faith in Jameis Winston to lead them to the glory land? I don't think
No,
so.
I need them to lose too because we have their first round pick.
Exactly. I mean, they made some key signings with Jarvis Landry and Tyron Matthew and so.
Right.
So they're relying on the entire team to help Jameis Winston. But at the end of the day, when there's 10 seconds left, he got to throw the ball.
True.
So we don't know what can happen. But again, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, that's three serious wide receivers right there.
Nice receiver.
Exactly. So with the Panthers in that division, I still think we can do pretty well. But we'll take it one game at a time. We'll take it one off-season workout at a time. See how it goes, and I'll give you guys a better update probably next month and
Probably
see what
after
happens.
I think after minicamp, a couple games.
Because right now, if I go on Bleacher Report, all I can see is Sam Donald is looking crisp and sharp. Sam Donald just told the reporters he still believes he can be a great quarterback in this thing. He's not listening to the trade rumors. All he's doing is focusing on himself and what he can control. But that's standard. What do you want him to say? Oh, they've tried to trade for somebody from that suck bad.
Yeah.
You're not hear that. You can always hear positive stuff. And how can you really go there and bash somebody in OTAs voluntarily walk out? Oh, he looking good. He looking slack and sluggish. That don't make no sense. You get reports on what you see on OTAs, and if you got a helmet and shots on, you're supposed to see good things. So I'll have to wait for a few more weeks. But I like the team. I just want to see what's going to happen with I'm eager to see what happens with the quarterback position. That's what I want to see. I'm happy with my defense and everything, but I'm eager to see what's the quarterback position. That,
Me too.
I mean, I actually eager. Like, if we do have Baker, will I be angry? No, for one reason. Baker's on a 1 year deal. We can clean the slate after this year. We're gonna have shitloads of cap space. I'm not worried. I would like to win this year as well, but we know what can happen. So that's just how it can be. But I would love to. I would love to be like you guys. That in week 13 and 14, I still talking about who I gotta beat to make playoffs, rather than who I gotta lose to get in the top 4 spot.
Right.
That's the difference. The Eagles and Finals gonna say, I mean, 4. If we win, we go up to 3, and them kind of thing. The Panthers gonna be saying, we third from the bottom. If we win this game, we got the number 7 pick rather than number 3 pick. I can't be doing that. So,
I had my ears on that one.
but that's the thing. This is we had 3 straight years of 5. Well, we just had an extra game, so it was 5 and 12. Not it was 5 and 13. No, 17 games. So it was a 5 and 11, and I went to 5 and 12. I can't have 5 wins again this year. Matt Rule will have to go if there's 5 wins this year. You can't get enough. You can't get all that chances. You can't. So let's see how we go. It's a good start for the off season, the OTAs. Let's see if we can carry the momentum. I think it's from Friday to Sunday. It's a 3-day OTA. So let's see how tomorrow and Sunday goes, and then when I come back on Tuesday, I can say, oh, well, the OTAs went pretty well. We could do this and do that. Oh no, I hear me about Friday and Sunday. Today was what, Tuesday to Thursday. It's Tuesday to Thursday. So when I come back on Sunday, I can say, oh, good job. We look good. We look sharp, and we'll see what happens.
Alright. That's fair. And we'll see what happens. We come back on the show Sunday.
We'll be back on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
All OTS will be over. We'll see.
I think my OT mine is starting the
Oh yeah, yours ain't started yet. Yeah.
Right.
Mine will be over. 3 days will be over. We'll give an overview on hours, and then we'll see. When you say you're starting? Monday.
31st.
Oh, sorry. Oh, Tuesday. After the Memorial Day. Okay.
Yes.
So we
but
start-
yeah, we'll see what happens. Based on other news from around the NFL, I only know that Kyler won't attend Cardinals OTA. Washington is still working on a deal with McLaurin. The cold sign Nick Foles that we are talking
The
about.
Nick Foles, yeah.
Um,
They
they
said
had a
Foles will
report. They
take
had
it.
a report saying Eagles were interested in signing Foles before he joined the Colts.
I'm happy they didn't do that. You know why? Because you'd have put us in a Jalen Hurts. Because now you'd have had the savior who gave you a Super Bowl ring, who gave you our first Super Bowl. The fans still love Nick Foles. And if Jalen Hurts stink up the joint week two, everybody calling for Nick Foles to come in.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? You give Jalen Hurts to actually just, you know what I mean, have a clear mind and go ahead and be the starter of the team. So it was a good thing that they didn't sign Nick Foles. You know what I mean? It was a smart idea not to sign Nick Foles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, leave him go. Just play. Leave him ball. Look, if he fail, he fail. Don't have him looking over his shoulder.
Exactly.
Other news, we had Jadavion Clowney going back to Cleveland. Cleveland gotta be. I don't understand. Every year they look like they're gonna win and they don't win. So we gotta see what happened with Clowney. Outside of that, not really much. You see Robert Quinn seeking a trade from the Bears. He wants to go on a winning team. Jesse Bates says he will not play under the franchise tag. He,
There's a rumor that said the Eagles might trade for Jesse Bates.
well, he's already said he's not playing under that
Right.
franchise tag. So you either work out the deal or trade him.
Right. So
Yep.
if we trade Jesse Bates, that means that we give up on them first round picks still.
Yeah, because Bates is
Behind.
a Pro Bowl player.
I understand our level. I think we should hold that two first round picks and see what's going on this year to see if Hot stick up the joint and after we could draft a quarterback.
But the thing is, like I say, you guys playing to win this year, not to look for the future.
True, but still, you don't want to find out that Hot's will only take you but so much.
But are
And
you
we
ought
have
to give him 2 second round pick for Jesse Bates?
no. You said 2 second round picks?
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought
and
you
keep the first round. Yes,
I
yeah.
agree. I give him
Yeah, I will give us 10 seconds and I keep my 2 first round picks.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give him
Jesse Bates is worth it. That the 2 second round picks.
I'll give him
He
the
can
two.
change. He can change your the back of your secondary.
Jesse Bates in our defense right now. That's it.
Exactly.
Half.
He's a game changer in the back end.
That's that will take our defense to top five. Top five. Because Whitsley, Bradbury, and Jesse Bates in that backfield, how you stop there?
Mm-hmm.
So with them two linebackers in the middle of the field, no man, you crazy.
So we gotta see what happens. But I mean, hopefully we get some more. Me and Shane gonna talk about our OTAs and Sunday. KG's one is still coming up.
Yep.
But I mean, we know this time of the year, you don't really hear much. You just hear about how your team's performing and conditioning and everything. And we can't wait until August comes around for preseason. Well, even training camp. When they get mandatory training camp in July, that's when they think. Because I know after the last OTA in June, you get about a 3 week dead silent period.
Exactly.
You don't really have nothing, and then it comes back in July. So I think when OTAs end, like the end of June, they come back the third week in July. You got that little break. So we'll see what happens from there.
Right. So yeah.
So that's all the news, right? So far.
Yeah, that's all the news. So no.
Now we got
So Sunday, we come back on studio with talk about the OTAs.
Yeah.
KG will probably lead us off with what's coming up in his OTAs.
in his
Mm-hmm.
team.
That's what in his OTAs, and then just keeping our eyes down to see what happened, what trades, what deals have got. Still have trades or deals already happened.
I think we
Yeah.
still need to sign a safety.
We'll see because again, we still watching the Baker issue and everything. So
Yeah,
unless something happens there, we'll watch that.
we still have a little Debo Garoppolo going on.
Exactly.
I know
So
where that, but we'll see.
that's the main thing to know.
So Sunday, guys,
Yep.
we'll see
Yep.
you here, same time, same channel.
You guys can, and you guys that are watching us can always check us out on Facebook,
And YouTube.
Instagram, and our shows are on YouTube.
All right, that's it for now.
Yep.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.